واليوم راح أشرح عن Lasso Tools في الفوتوشوب. We have three different types of Lasso Tools. عندنا Lasso Tool, Polygonal Lasso Tool, or Magnetic Lasso Tool, and you can find them in the toolbar. Usually it's on the left over here. All three lasso tools are basically used to make a selection. لما تستخدمون the lasso tool, you would use them عشان you select an object or you select a certain shape or whatever you want in Photoshop. The normal lasso tool is the most basic one, very simple, very easy to use. بس تاخذوا lasso tool وكأنكم عندكم قلم and you just freehand draw around whatever object you want, and it will make a selection. You can also make straight lines using the normal lasso tool, so you have to hold down the option key on your MacBook or the alt key on your keyboard, and you make a point with خط, and it's a straight line like this. The next one is the polygonal lasso tool. Polygonal lasso tool and the normal lasso tool are very similar. تقريبا نفس الشيء. You can make straight lines, you can make normal freehand drawing selections. بس with the polygonal lasso tool مو لازم تضغطوا on a key on your keyboard عشان تسوي straight line, فبس click and make a selection. لما تجوا to where you started the selection بيطلع لكم مثل دائرة صغيرة, and that shows where you can close the loop and make a selection. You can also make 45-degree angles with the polygonal lasso tool, فتقدروا تضغطوا على shift on your keyboard and then you click and it will make a 45-degree angle. So like this, it can be like this. You can just keep creating 45-degree angles, وبعد ممكن أسوي أي شكل like this. ولما أبغى أسوي مثل freehand drawing أقدر أضغط على option or the alt key on your keyboard and just draw and make a selection. بيطلع لكم selection like this. إذا مثلا سويت a selection وسويت خط غلط, you can just erase it by clicking on the backspace key on your keyboard وبيشيل الخط, and then you can make your selection. The next one is the magnetic lasso tool. This one تختلف شوي عن بقية lasso tools. This one works best إذا عندكم very visible, very defined edge. It will make a more accurate, يكون selection دقيق أكثر, غير إذا كان عندكم مثلا شكل or object or شيء with blurry edges. Okay? For this one, what you do is مثلا تحطوا anchor point and you go along the object and it will make a selection كذا. There is three options that are important for the magnetic lasso tool, which is width, contrast, and frequency. Width, it shows or it sets the area or the diameter of the area that should be used. The area that should be used for making the selection around the edge. The range of pixels that Photoshop scans to detect. No, this is how it makes the selection. Okay, if you increase the width, it will detect more area, which will make the selection يمكن يكون not very accurate لأنه the tool will be kind of distracted. Okay, less, if you lower it بيصير more accurate, and in some cases that's what you need to use. Some other cases يمكن تحتاج use something else. The next thing is contrast. Contrast, it controls the sensitivity to edges that are close by. يعني Photoshop selects edges. Okay, لما تختار edges using the tool in Photoshop, it does that by calculating the difference between the brightness with the texture between the range of pixels الموجودين here. Okay. The last thing is frequency. Frequency controls the amount of anchor points. Anchor points مثل ما قلنا are the little squares المربعات اللي قاعدة تطلع لي لما أحط ال selection. Those are called the anchor points. When you increase this, it will put more anchor points, which will make the selection more accurate. يكون دقيق أكثر ويكون أحسن يمكن. لما you decrease it, تنزل رقم يعني, it will make a not very accurate selection. يمكن يكون lower resolution. Basically, it will be a lower resolution. One more thing I forgot to mention about the contrast is it allows you to increase and decrease the contrast per image requirements. If the contrast is high, if the contrast between the edge, so the edge for example, and the background is high, then you are going to increase this. طيب, if it is not high and it is lower, you can decrease it, and then that will control the sensitivity of the edge. And that is pretty much the lasso tool. That is what it is. It is very easy to use, in my opinion very helpful, وأتمنى أنكم فهمتوا وتعلمتوا من الشرح. Thank you very much.